would be silly. Why would that be silly? Well, it'd be silly to me for the simple reason that, ladies and gentlemen, I really am swallowing this sword. The tip of this blade is going to end up all the way to the pit of my stomach. You see, and what I'm afraid of is you guys have had your hands all over it, and I have no idea where your hands have been. Wait, don't tell me. I don't like surprises. Not just kidding. Especially you big guys, just kidding. Don't beat me up in the parking lot, okay? I'm just kidding, because I have to add humor to this show because it's so dangerous and deadly at this point. I have to add the humor to keep the edge off it. I told you the jokes got worse, that's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with every story there is truth. Truth of the matter is, this is a real sword. Truth of the matter is, I really am swallowing it. But the truth of the matter is I really don't know where your hands have been. See, that's why I've got this antiseptic that I'm going to be rubbing all over this rag and then rubbing all over my sword. Because I really am swallowing this sword. And I really don't know where your hands have been. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the big question. And that is, how many people here have seen a professional sword swallower? Live and in person, not on TV or the movies. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. 3 people out of all of you have seen a sword swallower. You know why? That's because there's only 48 professional sword swallowers left in the entire world. I am one of 2 men in the entire world to have swallowed a Model T car axle. Let me repeat myself. Yes, I'm one of 2 men in the world to swallow a Model T car axle. I'm the only man in the entire world to fire a rocket-powered sword down my throat. I invented this deadly stuff for Ripley's Believe It or Not. I took this sword, packed a rocket motor into the end, placed the sword in my mouth. The people at Ripley's Hollywood fired off the rocket. It shot 27 inches of sword down my throat in a half a second. I hold the world's record for the world's fastest sword swallow. Thank you very much. Believe it or not, around the world in the video section or in the tour guide, or you can cheat and go to YouTube and watch it. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take the blade, place it in my mouth, tilt my head back. The sword's going to start its journey down past the pharynx, past the larynx, down the esophagus. Once it gets about right here, and at that point, it's going to kick my heart forward 3/4 of an inch to allow the blade to pass it. The only thing between the sword and my heart is going to be the wall of my esophagus. It's very, very thin. The sword will then continue its journey in between the lungs, down the esophagus, until it reaches the gate valve of the stomach. It then enters the stomach until the tip touches the very bottom of my stomach. In other words, that sword is going all the way down to here. All the way down to here. Now you're going to see a sword swallow. You're going to see 2 great tricks. Trick 1. Once the sword's inside, once the sword's inside, I'm going to turn 45 degrees, and then I'm going to bend over, and I'm going to open my jaw, and I'm going to allow everybody to look at the sword going right past my teeth and down my throat. That was real bad. Trick 2. I'm going to come up, take 2 fingers, place it under the hilt, and I'm going to kick the sword out of me as fast as possible. It's going to go flying in the air. It's going to come down, and I'm going to catch it. Maybe you don't realize just how dangerous this is. I've got a weapon lodged in the center of my body. I'm going to kick it out. It's going in the air. It's going to come down, and I'm going to catch it. I'm just making sure you're watching because my doctor tells me not to do this for my health. There's 3 things I need to do. First thing I need to do is use lubrication. I like water. In swallowing swords, lubrication is important. Water. Smart water. That's real water, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Second.